What's up? It's Penuel the Black Pen doing something that I don't normally do, which is to make a video in the evening that I'm going to upload overnight and then I'm going to drop tomorrow morning. It's just going to help me with my timing. You know, in the same way when we upload the virtual Nkuku or the Penuel show, it's at a specific time. I'm going to try and pre-record on the day before so that it uploads on the day after. I hope that this will work better for me and for you guys as well. Just want to send a shout out to a good friend and brother of mine, Chris Kapanga, who runs a company called We Clean It All that is based in Randburg. Please visit their website, wecleanitall.net. I'm going to drop the link at the bottom of this video. They service Sandton, Bryanston, Randburg, Fourways, Parktown, Rosebank, Midrand, Centurion, Pretoria, Northgate, Reimsig, Kreersdorp, Kempton Park, Greenstone, Glen Vista, and Alberton. Essentially all around. Oh, someone is trying to call me. Essentially all around Johannesburg, all around Gauteng. If you would like to get a hold of them, please go to wecleanitall.net. They do carpet cleaning, rug cleaning, upholstery cleaning, baby accessories cleaning, residential cleaning services, commercial cleaning services. They do fogging and pest control. They have a cleaning school for people that want to learn how to create their own cleaning businesses. They have maintenance services as well. And then they have a cleaning equipment shop. If you have your own cleaning business and you need equipment, you can hire from them or you can buy from them as well. wecleanitall.net. Got quite a few things to get through. I hope I'll get through all of them in time. The first one being Markus Jooste. May o maat. Markus Jooste. I'm reading an article from businesstech.co.za. This article is from the 19th of October 2022. And the headline goes, Reserve Bank seizes former Steinhoff CEO Markus Jooste's assets. This is what they took. The South African Reserve Bank has seized assets belonging to former Steinhoff CEO Markus Jooste. This comes 5 years after severe financial misconduct at global holding company Steinhoff International became one of South Africa's largest corporate scandals. I think that was meant to be as global holding company became one of South Africa's largest corporate scandals. The financial maladministration and fraud ultimately led to a 95% crash in Steinhoff's value on the JSE when the scandal broke, contributing to a massive loss in the value of pensions that were held in the Government Employees Pension Fund, the GEPF. A PwC audit on the company showed that former executives, including Jooste, inflated the profits of the company as well as the value of its assets. PwC further found that the fraud amounted to over 100 billion rand as executives used irregular fictitious transactions to their benefit in collaboration with third-party companies. That's fundamentally important. Markus Jooste did not act on his own. He worked with other executives and they worked in collaboration with third-party companies. According to Bloomberg, the latest move by the SARB represents a potential advance in the painstaking process of bringing charges against the former CEO, who numerous legal authorities and regulatory probes and lawsuits have pointed to as the mastermind behind the accounting scandal. I know there's a documentary currently on Showmax if you want to check that out as well. Court documents publicly sourced from the SARB relating to the attachment of his assets reveal that some of the following assets were looked into. Silver Oak Trust, including art to the value of 98 million rand, other financial assets worth 1 billion rand, loans to the value of 130 million rand, and movable assets. Hermanus residence and property, including 5 different vehicles, a Mercedes-Benz SL600, a Land Rover Defender 110, a white Lexus LX570, an Isuzu KB300 TDI, a Volkswagen Kombi VN 750. Stellenbosch Wine Estate, named Lanzarak, and home to premium wines reaching upwards of 1,200 rand a bottle for a 2017 Keldermeester Versameling Prof. Personal effects, including jewelry, paintings, and firearms, amounting to 795,400 rand. Under section 10.2.5 of the order, all movable goods of any nature of or to which Jooste is a beneficial owner, excluding clothing and foodstuff, are also attached. The court noted that such goods would not be removed from the property but photographed and inventoried. The Reserve Bank further investigated and seized crucial documents, both hard copies and electronic files, including flash drives, memory sticks, CDs, or external hard drives that could have crucial information. Speaking with News 24, the former chairperson of Steinhoff, Christo Wiese, praised the attachment of Markus Jooste's assets, adding that a lot of people will be grateful to see that the wheels of justice are turning. A lot of us are going to stay tuned to see how this goes. Of course, people have accused Markus Jooste's treatment as white privilege and that it's taken this long for things to take effect. For a long time, he even refused to come to Parliament to come and account and to speak. He hasn't been jailed, and it's only now that his assets have been seized. And I can only imagine that during this period, probably from advice, he's probably moved a whole lot more of his assets offshore, moved it into blind trust somewhere. And this over 1 billion rand worth of assets might just be a drop in the ocean, or might just be a small portion of Markus Jooste's true wealth. Like I said, there are other executives that still need to be investigated and other third-party companies as well. What was interesting is that the National Prosecuting Authority, I believe, the NPA, that was meant to be tracking and investigating this guy, claimed that they didn't have money and they needed Steinhoff to send them money to investigate this, which is obviously a conflict of interest. But obviously we live in a South Africa that is alive with possibilities. Listening to the chairman or the ex-chairman of Steinhoff, Christo Wiese, saying that he's happy that the wheels of justice are turning, it just reminds me, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I do think that some of these people, Christo maybe himself, may have actually known what was happening, but as soon as the cat is out of the bag, someone needs to be the fall guy, and Markus Jooste needed to be that guy, because a lot of people outside of just Jooste have benefited. Even a Bruno Steinhoff, when he had been interviewed on the Showmax documentary, said that he was surprised that this thing happened. There are a lot of high-profile, very intelligent masterminds and criminals in corporate. We only ever normally hear of big-time politicians and black politicians being corrupt. But I can tell you that the private sector is probably 10, if not 100 times worse in their corruptions and in their dealings. That's Markus Jooste. Next thing I want to cover is that I was trending again on Twitter. I'm learning very quickly to try and close the noise and focus on the hard work and the important work I need to do in shifting and challenging minds, in sharing some very important education and information to the people. But where possible, I obviously do put my ear to the ground to hear some of the things that people may have to say about myself or other people, whether wrong or right, so to speak. I want to send a shout out to Mighty Jamie for a very decent short video that he did on Twitter. He played a clip of a very inflammatory piece that I did on Nkululeko on culture. Nkululeko on culture that is owned by Nkululeko Nkeu, that you guys can go and check out on YouTube. He has an amazing podcast, a lot of interesting, engaging interviews and conversations that include myself as well, where I was basically saying black people are not worth dying for. But what Mighty Jamie did is he was just opening the conversation of what was I actually saying, and was I actually spitting in the faces of revolutionaries that have come before? And that is definitely not the case. I have huge respect for people like Bantu Bigo, people like Mangaliso Sobugwe, people like Chris Hani as well, for what they have done. The only thing I was doing was venting and saying that a lot of the people that they died for did not deserve their blood. They didn't. Because if you look at the way that the majority of black people are living today, they are not buying from black people. They are not working for black people. They vote for politicians that are working hand in hand with some of the people that were responsible for some of the killings of the revolutionaries. And they themselves are not black conscious. They are not pan-Africanists. They are not loving themselves as black people. So for me, I was saying, I don't want to be a martyr. I don't want to be a Jesus Christ, if ever that opportunity is there, to die for a people that don't seem to love themselves and are not willing themselves to put themselves in the line of fire and do the very important work that is needed. Another very important part that Mighty Jamie raised was the idea that I'm willing to work with communities that are organized. And he was saying, if I'm willing to work with these communities, why am I not willing to help the black community get organized? And I will first say that I tried to set up the Buy Black movement. You can still go to the website, www.buyblack.org.za. I tried to set up the Buy Black movement to try and organize black people. That's the first thing I want to say. So I have done my bit where I could. The second thing I want to say was, if you look at these other organizations, they are not united on color or race. If you look at AfriForum, it is not a white party or a white organization. It is an Afrikaans organization, and it focuses on white Afrikaners, colored Afrikaners, black Afrikaners, people that align with Afrikaner culture and they also defend the rights of minorities in South Africa. If you look at their values, if you look at some of the work they're doing, it is not for all whites. If you look at another group that I admire very much, the Jewish community, it is not for all whites. It focuses on Jewish people or people of the Jewish faith who follow the Torah, some of them who are people that come from Israel, and they are focused on people that share their values, etc. So I think it's fundamentally important that when you look at some of these groups that are out there, they are not about a race. Even if you look at the Muslim community, the Indian Muslim community in this country, it is Muslim. It is not for all Indians everywhere. It is for particularly Muslim people that may be Indian or black or otherwise. So it's fundamentally important. And this is why for me, what I'm trying to move to is not only values-based, because it's important to have your own values. It's also meant to be non-racial. So I am almost the future of what groupings are. Where some of the groupings maybe might look white, some might look Indian, some might look a certain way. I am trying to build communities and groups that have different races, different genders, but that have the same values and that are futuristic in their thinking. We can't take an apartheid model that failed and then copy and paste it now and create a black model, because it will inevitably fail. There's a futuristic model which says, we're not just going to be about race. We're not just going to be about gender. I'm pro-women, I'm pro-men. We are going to be about people that share similar values and want to do good work in this world. But thank you to Mighty Jamie. I think he's a great mind. I used to follow him on Twitter before I was unfortunately permanently suspended. I'm looking forward to meeting him at some point and maybe having a great conversation, maybe on the panel show or on the virtual Mkuku. Last night, I had the great privilege of being invited. Hey, rap on my shoulder, I'm a celebrity. I was invited to an amazing premiere of a show that's going to be on Mzansi Magic that is done by Castle Milk Stout. Inkunze Mnyama. You know, Celeste Ntuli, comedian, Blessing Uma Blair, who's on KFM and who was on Trending SA. Good friend of mine from back in Rhodes University days. Dineo Ranaka, Koko Dineo, Coconut Kells, Ulisiho, Ubaba, Umusamselegu, Toles Mo, Umongezi, Felix Klope, and so many other amazing people involved as obviously the talent on screen. You're going to be watching, it's going to be 4 episodes. It's coming out on the 20th of October, 9:30 in the evening on Mzansi Magic. Please be sure to check it out. Speaking Black Conversations. What does it mean to be black? They speak about cancel culture. We were speaking about language and all these other aspects. I think it's such an amazing and such a powerful and such a necessary thing that Castle Milk Stout has done. Amazing work for their brand, working with an agency called Joe Public, which is absolutely sensational and is a leader in the advertising world. And I was just honored to be there and to see some of the amazing work that they have done and that I could also add my little bitnyana of talent to. I hope you guys will enjoy it, and I hope that when you watch it, you will jump on your Twitters and your Facebooks and your other groups and have very, very important conversations that the Black nation in particular in South Africa needs to be having, so that they can heal, they can move, they can build collectively as a Black nation, and hopefully working with other groups that are sharing values with them similarly as well. I made a video this evening on TikTok Live. Please go to my TikTok at GodPenuel, click on the notification bell so that every time I go live, you can hear, you can connect, you can join, you can send gifts, you can comment, you can be involved in anything that I have to say there. I can't go live on Facebook anymore. I can't go live on Instagram anymore. When I go live on YouTube, sometimes the quality is not great. So I'm enjoying the TikTok lives for now. Please go there. One of the things I was speaking about, because someone was asking about government and the politicians. I was saying that politicians, and I'm just bringing just that piece here. Politicians are meant to be public servants. Black Africans come from a history of having kings that you can't question, you can't challenge, that sit high and mighty on the throne until they pass away. Politicians are not kings. They don't sit there because they were born into those seats. They are public servants. When they come to us and they campaign, they are handing in their CVs, their manifestos. When they come and they stand on podiums and they say, we will give you jobs, we will make sure that we fight white monopoly capital. That is them in their interview process saying, please vote for me, please hire me. I would like to work for you to make sure that I solve certain problems for you, that I build a great country for you. And it is up to us, the citizens, to then hire them, to vote for them, and get them to work for us, and we pay them through our tax. If your employee is not working for you, you have to fire them. You have to fire them. And a lot of people that are politically illiterate, the masses are politically illiterate, they don't understand that these people are public servants. They are meant to serve you. They are not meant to be kings that bully and dominate you and work with people that they claim to be the enemy to continue to oppress you. So we need to shift this mindset from these are our kings, oh, the president, oh, a minister. These people are our servants. They are meant to listen to us. When they see their citizens, they are meant to sit on the smaller chair and say, hey, taxpayer, what can I do? Hey, voter, what can I do for you? We need to change our mindset. The last thing I wanted to say is I saw a mate now, Nota shooting a video on Instagram fighting with JMPD cops. A lot of people were laughing. A lot of people were like he was being unnecessary. A lot of people said the cops are unnecessary. I just wanted to share a few thoughts on that. I love Nota very much. I believe he has a very genuine heart. He wants South Africa to be great. He wants South Africans to win. The way he goes about it is very Kanye West-ish. I may not approve of some of the things he says. I may believe that some of the things he says are actually destructive, and we need to maybe not do things like that, but that is my opinion. And he's doing things his way. But I do believe he's genuinely a good person that is trying to do good work. I think he was stopped on the side of the road by the police, and he did this thing of recording them and putting them live. The one thing that he raised, which is very true, the police themselves, the JMPD, and some of the SAPS, they don't know the law. You are allowed to record the police on your phone. It is not illegal to record them. You can record them. It is your right, as long as you are not prohibiting them from doing their job. So any cops that tells you, hey, you're not allowed to record, switch off, or grabs your phone, they are violating your rights. And that's an offense that they are committing. So he's allowed to record them. He's not allowed to swear at them because they are also human beings at the end of the day. So swearing at people and being unnecessary, and even if he was prohibiting them from doing their job, that becomes a violation and that becomes an offense that he was doing. One of the things I've seen that whenever the robots are down, the JMPD is nowhere to be seen in Johannesburg. They're not there controlling traffic. But every other day they're putting up roadblocks, they're harassing people, they're trying to get bribes, and they are not focusing on the important work they need to do. So he was very right to Nota in saying stuff like that. The other thing he was wrong at is obviously calling these people, I've got a matric, you are earning minimum wage. Our police do a lot of good work. Some of them go into fearless situations where they have to apprehend criminals that we fear. Some of them, I've seen pictures of them helping people on the side of the road that have to change a tire. Some of them have stopped us, stopped me. You have a good chat with this person. They wish you well. They say, please stay safe. This is not a safe area. Some of them have families and they're normal. They're also just trying to feed their families. They have kids that go to school. They also want politicians to do better. They would also like to earn more. Some of them are good people. So it is unfair to bash people that are just working in the police department just because some of them love bribes, some of them don't want to do their work, etc., etc. So I just wanted to speak on that. But I wish you Nota a great week. I really hope that he will get resolved in his issues. And I'm glad that even in his own unusual, trolling, controversial, polarizing ways, he is raising some of these issues that we need to conversate about. We need to sit with the cops and ask them about their colleagues. Why do you guys accept bribes? What is the issue here? Why do you guys harass good motorists? Why are you guys never there when the robots are down, but you only show up to put up roadblocks and bully good people? You know, and how can we as citizens make your life easier? Again, just like the politicians, police officers, nurses, doctors, these people are meant to serve us. They may get salaries, but if they're working in the public sector in particular, their salaries come from our tax money. That doesn't mean we must bully them. That doesn't mean we must tell them, yeah, Baba, I pay your tax, I pay your salary. But it means that they must understand that they are meant to serve us, the citizens. And then for us, the citizens, then our responsibility becomes, how can we help them make their job better? How can we assist them? How can we be better citizens so that we can work together with public servants, the teachers, the nurses, the traffic cops, the police, the administrators, the politicians, to build a better nation. Penuel the Black Pen, WeCleanItAll.net. Shout out to my boy Chris Kapanga. I'll drop the website below. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Work hard. I love you guys very much. Cheers.